Hello and welcome back to Come Draw With Me. We're here today with a little bit of a special episode. Uh, I went around and I asked some of my friends who were watching the first video, and I was asking for requests for videos that they wanted me to make. And the first request that I got was a request from a friend of mine who wanted me to kind of talk about um, the process for creating original characters. And I thought that sounded like fun. That's something I would enjoy talking about. So that's what we're going to do today. Um, if I could be completely honest, I wouldn't say how do I put this? This is something that I think it comes naturally to me. So maybe my advice isn't the best on it. I've been creating little quirky characters for as long as I could remember. I literally is ever since I started drawing, I was doing this. And hopefully, I have some advice today that will help you all get creative and make new things that no one's made before. That's the goal here. Drew a little dude there. Again, this is going to be audio that's recorded after my drawing. Unfortunately, the audio I recorded while I was drawing, it worked, and I was happy with it, but at the same time, I feel like I could probably go in a little bit more into detail about the things I want to talk about and hopefully give you some better advice about this. Um, Boy, it's taken me a while to get drawn new. I was probably going into a rant at this point, but anyway, um, all you really need to do to make original characters is just you gotta flex your imagination. Think of your imagination as a muscle. It's something that you work out and something that you hone over time. And the more you work it out, the easier it is to do things. As you see, I drew a little sheep there from a video game I used to play way back in the day called Cell Damage. And that actually reminds me of a point I made at this point in the video when I was doing the audio while I was drawing. Just like recall things from your childhood that you can draw and try to draw without reference. Try to put things on the page that's coming straight from your brain. Um, just anything. It can be an inanimate object. It can be a person. It can be an animal. Architecture. Anything you can draw where you're not looking at the thing you're drawing. You're drawing it yourself. You're pulling it straight out of your head. And that's my first bit of advice. Practice that. Just practice. Practice drawing things without looking at anything. You want to get those creative juices flowing. One thing that could help you a lot is listening to music. Sometimes I listen to music while I draw, and sometimes it does help me create new things I would not have otherwise. Just draw inspiration from places, but do it with your memory or do it through music. Um, Another thing is getting good with basic shapes and learning how to turn shapes into things that, like, here we go. I turned a circle, a square, a triangle into a face with a simple crescent shape to punctuate it. Doing a little bit of shading here, just this is just I'm just going through my warm ups essentially. I don't really warm up hardly ever, but sometimes when I'm thinking about something and if I'm focused on something, I'll just draw basic shapes and try to like shade them and stuff like that. It doesn't take too much focus to do it. It's something you can just kind of do in the background of your mind. Because I was talking while I was drawing all this stuff, and I definitely do better when I'm just focused on it when I'm not talking while I'm drawing, which is kind of the reason why in the future I do want to do more of these where um, I talk about the stuff after the fact. And another thing, I'm gonna try to stop breathing into the mic. At first, that first recording I did for this, I was listening back to it as I was editing it, and oh my god, I don't know if I have like a deviated septum or what, but I apologize for all the breathing that you might hear. I'm not on a ventilator. I'm not dying. I've just got allergies. I can't breathe through my nose during some parts of the year, and it makes me breathe through my mouth really loud, which is unfortunate. Anyway, let me get back to the topic of the drawing. As you can see here, I took those three basic shapes: the square, the circle, and the triangle, and I turned them into a dude. You got a square hat, a round head, and a triangular upper body. And this is something that I just came up with in my head. I just pulled it out of my butt. Um, and it's obviously it's not very refined, and it's pretty generic. But you don't need to be how do I put this? You don't have to be perfect at something immediately. Just practice and be content with, well, not be content, but understand that what you're going to put out the first time you're starting like a new process, or like when you're just starting to learn how to do something for the first time. It's not going to be perfect immediately, and it will never be perfect. Even the masters, they will tell you themselves that even after all the years they've spent, it's not perfect. You just approach perfection. You just constantly hone your craft. And this is kind of more advice for myself than anything. I would say that you should not be satisfied with um don't be satisfied with just getting the thing done. You should improve it. um that's really not really advice that I should be giving you, because I tend to just kind of throw things on a page. Drawing a silly little shark here, but I tend to throw things on a page, and I sometimes I just let it be. Not bad, just really rough. I let things be rough sometimes, and there's nothing wrong with that if you do it that way. Obviously, I do it that way, but if you're really trying to improve, you need to not be satisfied with that specifically. You need to, you know, always be striving to be better, to be just better. I really that really feels. I don't like to say that, but considering the content of the video and the idea behind it, I do kind of need to give that advice. I feel like here we go back to the basic shapes. I wish I had done a little bit more to draw variations of these shapes, because a square, you can make it a cube. You can cut some chunks out of it and make it polyhedral. Not polyhedral. What's the word I'm looking for? Um, you can turn it into a quadrilateral. Not a quadrilateral. Ah, like a diamond. You could turn it into a diamond just by misshaping it a little bit. Or if you wanted to go 3D, you could soften the edges. You could uh, give it some lighting or something like that. Make it look like it's got dimension to it. Uh, but that's not so much about drawing original characters. The idea behind that is taking basic shapes and doing your best to create something new with those shapes. And then, maybe you're satisfied with what you make at first, but if not, you can just continue to workshop it and just like create little variations of the thing that you've made. Like when I first started making March, which is the graphic novel that I was illustrating and sketching and doodling in the first video. When I first started making that and I was doing concept for it, like all of the original designs for all those characters that I drew in that first video, they're completely different now than they were when I first started designing them. I think there's one or two characters that are pretty close to what they used to be, but most of them are radically different, just because over time I kept drawing them and drawing them and drawing them and changing them and creating little variations of them until I got to the point where I was like, okay, I'm satisfied with this. This is what I want this character to be. And this doesn't just go for like people characters. You know, you can give variation and you can give flair and just like little differences and stuff like that to animals and like inanimate objects and architecture and all that stuff I listed earlier. And let me just say, I'm not a professional artist. I don't have any education. I don't, well, that's not right. I don't have any academic education in art beyond just um, looking at paintings and watching cartoons and anime and uh, and the like, you know, anything like that. I don't know what I'm drawing here. It looks like I'm just drawing a face. That's another thing I want to talk about. A really good way to make an original character is to make an original face. You know, don't worry, like, start with the face. And, you know, if you want to do like a little rough draft of what you want the body shape or body type to be, that's great. But character really shines through the face a lot of the time, at least for me personally. You know, body language is a huge thing. And then, you know, there are other like little characteristics that make other characters stand out and stuff like that, like fashion. For instance, fashion is a great way to make a character stand out. Scars and stuff like that. Let me think about this. You know, hairstyles. Obviously, I gave this guy an afro, and that actually reminds me. The girl that I'm making this video for that requested this kind of stuff. She and I go way back. We were in third grade together. We were in the same class, and there was this. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure there was a guy in that class. I know she knows who I'm talking about. I'm afraid to say names and stuff like that. I don't want to protect people's privacy. But we had a guy in one of those classes, I'm pretty sure, who had a really curly afro. And I played soccer with that guy for a long time. And he was a really great guy. I just wanted to say that. Shout out to him. He probably knows who I'm talking about him. If he is watching this, I doubt he is. But super nice guy. Glad I could give him a little shout out. Part of my childhood. Um, my roommate's dogs are howling. Let's see what else do I got for you. We're doing a little bit shorter video today. I've had some requests for shorter videos, and you know, if you feel like there are some things that you're still confused about with creating original characters and stuff like that, just like leave a comment and just tell me. Like, you know, if you want me to go more in depth about specific things when it comes to character creation, like the details, then just let me know in the comments, and I'll make another video, and hopefully I can answer more questions that way. Here we have a little female character. I felt like I was drawing too many males, although that one that one big fella with the top hat, that could go either way. It could be a woman, could be a man, who knows. But yeah, just drawing abstract shapes is a great way to work out your imagination, creativity. Like, I started drawing this shape, and I looked at it, I was like, oh, well, that kind of looks like a pumpkin. So I turned it into one. And if I remember correctly, I'm going to take that same shape and turn it into a dude's head. I like, I have a couple characters in my graphic novels and comics that I make that have really oddly shaped heads. I've just always loved doing that. I don't know why. It's just fun. But another really good imagination exercise and creativity exercise is just like um close your eyes. Like, close your eyes and put your pen on the page and start to try to draw something that you're seeing in your head without opening your eyes. It's going to look terrible when you open your eyes and you see it. But after you do that, continue to visualize that thing that you were trying to draw, and this time just do it with your eyes open. I've done that a lot, and like I said, I do have kind of a natural thing for original characters, but it still helped me. Here we're drawing a frog. Really, that's the one thing I want you to take away from this video. If you want to become a masterful artist, just draw frogs. Draw as many as you can. All different kinds of frogs. You will become the next Leonardo da Vinci, because as we all know, he did nothing but draw frogs his entire career. and he is held in very high regard. Here we got looks like an Animal Crossing style frog. I really love Animal Crossing. It's a huge part of my childhood, and I love the art style and the music, and just how calming it is. But but yeah, we got some stuff on the screen. Um, I don't think I drew anything else. I'm pretty sure I just talk from here on. So that's what I'm gonna do. I just want to give you some words of encouragement. Maybe I do draw something else. But yeah, words of encouragement. Don't give up. Don't get, if you do get frustrated, just take a break, but don't leave it alone forever. Just oh, drawing a little cowboy man. It's okay to get frustrated, and it's okay. Um, it's okay to not be good immediately at something. It takes time to get good at things, and sometimes the process can be really slow and frustrating. Like, I've definitely had times in my life where I would like push really hard to get good at something to try and hone a skill in some way, and I would get burnt out, and I would feel like my progress was starting to plateau. But don't let those feelings set in. If you need to take a break, that's great. You should. Everyone should take a break from things from now and again. But anyway, I think that's gonna do it for this video. Like I said, if you liked what you saw, that's great. Leave a comment and a like and a subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time. Shout out to my friend for requesting this video. It was fun to make, fun to draw that stuff and talk about it. Thanks for watching. I'll see y'all next time.